We start shipping like phone one in 2017, early 2017, and just getting a lot of feedback from customer, right? A lot of people come back saying, "Hey, I love going light. Going light is, allows me to concentrate, to really spend time with my family. But can you just add one more thing? I just need text message. I just need voice call and Uber, voice call and music or map." It's like everyone has their one more thing.
That was our guest today, Kai Tang. Kai is co-founder of the Light Phone, an extremely successful distraction-free smartphone. 4 years ago, Kai and his co-founder, Joe, introduced the world to the term going light, and they're now on the cusp of the release of version 2. In this episode, Kai's going to talk to us about the various ways the Light Phone has evolved, the various features that people needed in a distraction-free device, and finally, as people became more comfortable recognizing their screen time habits, what he thinks the future for distraction-free experiences are going to be. But before we start, I want to welcome you all to Digital Mindfulness. On this show, we bring together experts from around the world who focus on discovering and creating time well spent digital experiences. Over the past 4 years, we've brought together global thought leaders to discuss the latest thinking on topics such as digital wellness, ethical computing, digital detoxing, mindful technology, information overload, and much, much more. To find out much more about us and to join our growing international community, go to digitalmindfulness.net, where you'll find some required listening podcasts and links to our upcoming international events. Okay, let's get on with the show, and I hope you enjoy listening to Kai Tang. Kai, thanks so much for being here on the Digital Mindfulness Show with me. We spoke to Joe some years ago, but I'm really fascinated, A, to talk to you, and B, to learn more about version 2 of the Light Phone. So welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
So Kai, tell us a little bit about yourself and Light Phone. What is it exactly, and how did you come to found it?
We both have design background. So I came from a product design, human-centered design, and product development background. I have a few years of experience making actually smartphones and mobile devices. And like I said, we both jump into this incubator that Google started in New York, specifically for designers. Everyone's encouraged to do mobile application, just like every other startup. I think what we trying to do is it's a counter reaction to this business model that's driven by advertisement. Every app, every platform, they have a KPI that's trying to keep user spend as much time as they can, so a company can make money. We wanted to not do that, just simple as that, and try to create something, try to create technology that help people or encourage people to use technology as tools, not entertainment, not a portal to social media or game or personal data. It's just tools like hammer, screwdriver. It's beautifully designed. You pull it out, you use it for an hour, for 30 minutes, and you put it back. It's we don't stare at our screwdriver or hammer for 3 hours. No one does that. It's crazy, but we're doing that right now. So that's why we decided to just try to create beautiful tool, beautiful technology that's not addictive. It's not no hidden agenda, not trying to collecting your data or not trying to trick you into spend more time in the platform, in the tools. That's how we started.
I think that's great. So when you did start 4 years ago, did you have a sense, even instinctively, that the product would become as successful as it is right now?
Honestly, no. I think when we started, we both really love the idea and the notion of creating a human tag, creating something that inspire people to take a break. Um, we love it, but we don't know how how many people out there resonate with the idea. Not until we put the concept on Kickstarter, the crowdfunding website, and getting thousands of press coverage, talking about light phone, talking about what we're trying to do, cause anti-smartphone, anti-technology. It's just fascinating how light phone or what we're trying to do provokes people's reaction. You know, um, everyone seems to love it or hate it. We got we I think there's a blog dedicated to talking just talking why we need life phone. It's stupid, but I love it because it's, to me, a good product provokes emotion. The worst case is to create something that no one have any reaction to it. Yeah.
So, Kai, I know we're going to be talking a lot about the Light Phone 2, the second version, but I wonder if you can just tell the audience, just give us a little bit of an overview into what the Light Phone is exactly, and in particular, why it's so different from a traditional smartphone.
Yeah, so if I use analogy, right, your smartphone is a toolbox that has thousands of tools you ever needed. And iPhone 1 is almost like a screwdriver. It's one tool. It only makes and receives phone call. It's a credit card size device. Um, so you could sometimes take a break. Light phone, use your send number, and you could turn on light phone from your smartphone and leave your smartphone behind and just go out with a peace of mind with the device on you, knowing that you can call anyone if you want to, or your friends, your family can find you through light phone. And whoever calls you on smartphone will get forwarded to light phone. So you could, enjoy your day without distraction, enjoy your day without social media, the temptation of checking, swiping, liking, commenting. That's light phone 1. We start shipping light phone 1 in 2017, early 2017, and just getting a lot of feedback from customer, right? A lot of people come back saying, "Hey, I love going light. Going light is, allows me to concentrate, to really spend time with my family. But can you just add one more thing? I just need text message. I just need voice call and Uber, voice call and music or map." It's like everyone has their one more thing. So through the process, we keep asking ourselves, okay, how do we do more? How do we encourage people to go light more often, or go light for good if you're ready? So that's how Light Phone 2 becomes a possibility for us to deal. It's like, okay, we should take this product and make it more usable. Make it in a way that more people feel comfortable or feel encouraged to try it out. Even just using Light Phone 2 as their secondary phone, so that you have few more tools like voice call, text message, getting a taxi home, music, and direction. And if that's the 5 essential tool you need to escape smartphone, escape social media, and could break away from smartphone, and that's what we want to do. So we announced Light Phone 2 earlier last year, in 2018. It was fascinating because the campaign went really well. People seems to ready for a change. Yeah, it was really exciting.
So, looking at the crowdfunding campaign, it looks like you're incredibly successful with it. But how long did it take for you to reach your target?
So we I think our goal was set at 400,000 or 500,000. I forgot. I think we reached that goal in the first 10 hours of the campaign, and I think we end up raising to 2 million US dollars, a bit more than 2 million. So yeah.
I think it's fascinating what you've managed to achieve in such a short space of time. But also on the campaign itself, you've got this quirky diagram which just shows the difference between light phones 1 and 2, that 1 really was one tool for one thing, whereas light phone 2 really just extends out core functionality, as you mentioned before, things like hailing taxis or texting.
Yeah, I think it's a logical progression. I mean, I always get this, feedback saying, or challenging saying, "Hey, why are you going backwards? Why are we creating just a phone? We had that 10 years ago, 15 years ago, a phone with few tools." But in my opinion, I think we're not stepping back. We're stepping forward, meaning now you can choose what makes sense to you. You don't have to take it all in. You don't have to just take whatever Apple Store or Android or Samsung give you. Well, you don't have to accept the trick. You don't have to see the advertisement or notification. You have an option to choose. Okay, with I just want voice call, text message, potentially Uber music. That's all I want, or just voice call and text message. You can choose what technology makes sense to you, and we have so many tech around us, from iPad to your laptop. You could and watches too. You could do all the other things like checking out your social media posts, reading articles on Kindle, or reading emails on your laptop, or doing everything else on your iPad. But you always have a mobile tools, beautifully designed, with you. So to call people, to text your friends, to get a taxi home, to listen to music when you get on the subway or tube, and that's all you need to keep with you. Like, why do we need a mini computer 24/7? It just doesn't make sense right now. Yeah.
Just taking a look at what you've got coming on the Light Phone 2, and also just the other features that you're considering putting on. It's really interesting thinking about yours and Joe's backgrounds as designers, just what you consider to be important features to go on a phone or a device that minimizes distractions, and things like ride sharing or being able to look at maps. These are one of the few groups of features that you think would be, as I guess you would say, time well spent features.
Totally. I mean, I think we want to learn from our user too. I mean, we have our own take, but what's essential is different from person to person. Obviously, voice call, text message might be essential, commonly essential, but is weather essential? Why can't we just step out and feel the weather? But it might be essential. I mean, I think we have a pretty established or defined guideline what we want to do with Light Phone 2. We want to create utility. We want to have utility, but no game, no social media, no feeds, no browsing, discovering. All that is a no. But utility, there's a list of utility that if most of the users feel like, hey, I need weather. It's not a distraction. I get up, I check weather, so I know how to pick my outfit. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, there's one thing that's I never thought about as an essential tool, is hotspot. Like ability to link using Light Phone to get on internet. I never thought about that until a lot of backers in the campaign requested. And the reasoning being, hey, I'm going to use iPhone 2 as my only device replacing my smartphone. And I'll do everything else on my iPad or laptop. So when I go out with my laptop, sit in a coffee shop, sit in the park, I could use the hotspot to get on internet to do work. Like it makes perfect sense. It is not a distraction. So we because of that, we kind of adding hotspot to one of the tools we're gonna roll out for iPhone 2. So the plan for iPhone 2 is to roll out with, say, voice call, text message, alarm clock, and then we're slowly getting a second batch of tools like ride sharing app, maybe calendar, direction rollout when we're ready. It's also just a reality of a small team. We're trying to make sure the tool is being designed right, the user interface being designed right before we release it. So we have a plan to roll out tools batch by batch, starting hopefully in May this year.
So I was just going to ask actually when Lightphone 2 is going to go on sale, but you say it will be May this year, 2019.
Yeah, we've been taking pre-orders the last few months. I think we have a time frame to start shipping Lightphone 2 from April this year. So, if April, May, I think that will be the time frame we start shipping iPhone 2. There are still a few pending items we need to finalize before we know, okay, can we ship in April or May or June? But we will make that clear to all our backers.
So, Kai, I'm really interested to know now about some of the stories that people have had once they've kind of migrated from their traditional smartphone to a light phone, because you must by now have lots and lots of research from different people that have made that migration. And I'm interested to know some of the stories from people who have moved to a distraction-free device and the impact that's had on their lives.
Yeah, I mean, I think this whole backlash of smartphone is just making a lot more people aware the impact of social media or smartphone addiction, and everyone's looking for different options. To us, our users, the reason Lightphone or Lightphone 2 is more of an appropriate effective tool is that you have ability to fully escape the ecosystem that suck us in, that we are all trapped into. I'm sure you might aware that there are research and studies saying that just the smartphone itself on the table, even just not turn on, a flight mode on, or you completely turn it off, or flip the screen backwards, facing down, it still changes us because you still constantly distracted by the presence of smartphone. With Lightphone, with a device that doesn't feel like a technology smartphone, you when you go out, you forget about expectation of notification or expectation of seeing likes on your photo that you post on Instagram, or a tweet from one other person in your feed. You forget about all that anticipation or expectation, and what's going to happen is you start to pay attention to what's happening in front of you. You start paying attention to the building, on the street, talking to a stranger, you wait in the line to buy grocery. There's nothing for you to swipe, scroll, like, and so you start talking to the guy, the girl in front of you, or just looking at different things that fascinates you. I had an experience that just walking down the street with my smartphone, and I probably walked down the street for like 100 or 150 or 1,000 times, but I never noticed there's this weird building with the weird angle that cut light differently, cut reflection differently. And I was just standing there looking at it, just fascinating by how the light being reflected. You walk down the street and find a tree or a plant that looks so weird, and you start thinking about why this is so weird. Just fascinating by the natural of the everyday things. But I think I guess the point is, we have so much in our life, and if we just stop and pay attention to ordinary things, those ordinary things become extraordinary. How this plant, how this leaf could become like that. How is the cloud become like that? It's fascinating if we stop and look. I think that's the difference between using or turn off your smartphone. Having a smartphone in your pocket, it still distract you because you so easily get into it. But with the ability to fully escape the form factor, fully escape the ecosystem, you can truly break away the cage. I don't know how to say it. It's just an invisible force that draw you in.
I think one of the most interesting things to come to me through this interview, and certainly we spoke about it in the pre-interview, is that from you doing the light phone, you've been able to see over the years that people are increasingly willing to invest, not just financially, but from a behavioral perspective, from an emotional perspective, into distraction-free devices or services, and people are much more willing to have this conversation now. But I wonder if you can, again, just with being in this industry now for a few years now, if you can talk about some of the big changes as you see it from a consumer perspective. What are the big changes, attitudinal or otherwise, that people have towards distraction-free digital experiences?
Yeah, we've been doing this for 4 years, and when we started, when we start iPhone 1, it's a lot of people. It's like, what are you what are you doing? Like, we have iPhone, we love our iPhone. Why do we need a secondary phone? And it makes no sense. It's fascinating to see how the trend changed from last year to now. You could sense a lot of conversation is emerging, like deleting Facebook, or parents who worry about their kids addicted to smartphone. People worrying about the personal data being sold to research group. You could just see all this conversation emerging into a more, I want to say, push for mindful or essential technology. Last 4 years ago, it's really difficult. We spend a lot of time find a mission-aligned investor or partners. But this year or last year, we have so many inquiries and mission-aligned people joined us to help promoting what we are doing. Is fascinating. I think it's not just us. You could also see the tech giant reacting to this trend by introducing their take of healthy app or tracking app. Samsung, Google, Apple, they all introduced their version of a healthy app, supposedly help user tracking their usage on social media, different app. You could also easily see people taking a no tech weekend retreat or talking about how they wanted to step away from Instagram, from social media. I in my mind, this problem is only going to get bigger. It's not going to stop. I mean, the direction of technology is still going to go that way. More connection, more different connected device, AI, VR, AR. But in the meantime, because of an enormous growth on that connected lifestyle, I think the voice of being human, the voice of being essential, not being manipulated by technology, is going to get even bigger because it's zero. It used to be zero. No one think there's no company pay attention to the space, but right now it's going to accelerate. In my opinion, it's going to accelerate so much faster than we expected. And to me, it's only human because group a lot of more people feel like something is really wrong. It's inhuman. It's inhuman to staring down on it at the screen 24/7 all the time. It's not what we do. It's not human do. We walk around. We talk to people. We use our tool. We put it back. We're not. We don't. We don't have a device that suck us in 24/7 or as much as they can. And that if you want to do that, we might as well just stay in our room and just never step outside. Put on your VR goggle or go on the internet, make friends digitally. You don't need to get out of the house at all. Why live in? Why be a human? Right? That goes extreme. But I think it's only human that we react this way. It's only human this trend is getting bigger and stronger globally.
I think that's fantastic. And it's also a really good spot to tell the audience where they can connect with you, find out more about the Light Phone, and more importantly, where they can buy a Light Phone too.
Yeah, if people have time, you could check us out at lightphone.com. We have we sometimes post articles about how we go light, and sharing people's opinions about going light. And you could also pre-order Light Phone if you would like to.
Fabulous. Well, Kai, look, thank you so much for spending time with us today and telling us much more about this. I wish you all the best with the launch, and I'm looking forward to buying a Light Phone too myself.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.